Brittany and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a get ready with me catch up video because it has been so long since I caught up with you guys. Like, so much has happened, and I was just talking about it in my latest Vlogmas video, which is actually my first Vlogmas video because life's just been so crazy. I was planning to get that video up like a week ago and it didn't happen for so many reasons, which I'm going to get into in this video. So that's what we're planning to do today. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brittany, and on my channel I primarily do grocery hauls, like day in the life mom content, cooking content. So if that is stuff that you're interested in, I would love to have you join. Hit the subscribe button below, and if you enjoyed today's video, give it a like. But I'm not going to make this intro too long because, again, we have so much to get to. So grab a cup of coffee, some water, some tea, a snack, and let's go ahead and dive in. My son Isaac is napping, so I'm crossing my fingers he'll stay asleep for the duration of this video, but if not, we might have to do this in two parts, but you guys won't know any different. Also, I left my wedding rings downstairs and I was too lazy to go downstairs and get them. Just figured I'd mention it for those of you who've been on my channel for a while and will probably see my hands during this video and wonder, where are my wedding rings on? Derek and I are still happily wed, don't worry. All right, so where to begin? Okay, so like I mentioned, I do Vlogmas every year, and it's never like your traditional Vlogmas where I film every day because I just know myself and I know I get super burnt out. So instead I usually do like a vlog each week. Either it's a day in the life or a week in my life, something to that extent. So that's what I normally do. If you're wondering what I'm using the Clinique Even Better All Over Concealer and Eraser. I love this stuff. I've repurchased it several times. I am CN02 Breeze is the shade I use. And then I'm using the Shape Tape Cloud Coverage with sunscreen. 16 in Fair Light Neutral. So I'm not going to talk a ton about the makeup products I'm using in here, but I will mention them. I'll try to mention them in case you're curious. Okay, so anyways, Vlogmas. So I started Vlogmas, literally I filmed like December 1st. Like I started December 1st, and my plan was I was going to do 2 videos each week. Like I would do, for example, like one of my normal grocery hauls or cooking videos or day in the life videos in addition to a vlog of some sorts. Well, we got the news literally like that Tuesday that my grandma passed away. I know. Like, it has just been, life has been so crazy. I can't even begin to like express how crazy it's been. So we got the news my grandma passed away, which was kind of unexpected, but also not. So she had dementia, and we knew she was on a decline, and me and Isaac actually decided to go to Alabama. Sorry it's so dark in here. Also, it's a very gloomy day, and the light in my bedroom is actually like broken, so I don't have much lighting in here other than my vanity, so apologize for that. But anyways, so I decided to take Isaac with my mom to Alabama in September because she kind of had, I'm gonna call it a health scare. Basically, she just like wasn't doing very well. Like, she was sick, and I was getting very nervous, and it was important to me to have her meet her first great grandchild. So me and Isaac flew with my mom to Alabama out of Panama City. No, sorry, not Panama City, out of Baltimore. And we flew into Destin, Fort Walton Airport, and then we drove 2-ish hours to Dothan, Alabama, which is where my mom and my grandma are from and where my grandpa lived. So we were there for a week, so that was great because we got to like spend time with her, and by the end of the trip she was doing a lot better. I honestly think that trip, like us seeing her, like helped her a lot. I have such dark circles under my eyes. I feel like I need more concealer. So yeah, so we went there. We had a really nice visit for a week, and my mom actually went up again in November, and she wasn't doing better, but she wasn't doing like majorly worse either, if that makes sense. So that time my brother, he lives in Florida, he drove up with his wife stayed with my mom and they visited her for a couple days. So on Tuesday, like, my mom texted Derek because I was still asleep and told him like what had happened, and then he came and woke me up and was like, you need to call your mom, it's about your grandma. And I kind of already knew because we just knew like she wasn't doing super great, but again, like nothing like had happened of significance to make me think that like it was gonna be soon. So I was obviously really upset. I mean, it's so hard when you have to say goodbye to anyone. And yeah, it's just really tough. So it was kind of crazy because of where she lives and the time of year. You know, my mom had to plan the funeral and we didn't fly out the week that she passed away. It ended up being the week after, but it was like early in the week. We flew out on a Monday, so it was like a little less than a week from when she passed that we like decided to go. And because she lives, like I mentioned before, our September trip, we had to like fly into Florida and drive. We had to do the same thing, but it was even crazier because there were no direct flights. And during the summer, a lot of those beaches in Alabama and Florida, there's more direct flights because of all the beach visitors, but during winter there are not, so we could not get a direct flight. And it was just so stressful because, like, you know, if you have kids, like packing for kids is stressful. I had to pack very quickly, which I've done before when we did that September trip. Also, I feel like I'm putting way too much foundation on, but this is what happens in these videos because I get so sidetracked with what I'm talking about, so just ignore my makeup application process. So because that September trip was last minute too, I packed really fast, but it doesn't make it enjoyable. Like, I've done it before, but I had to do it again for this trip. The flight process was terrible. Like, our flights were on time, but it was just a very long travel day because we flew out of Baltimore. We had to connect in Atlanta. We had a 3-hour layover with a 10-month-old. Was literally a nightmare. We ended up just letting him like crawl around like the airport area, like the gate area, because you can't like keep a baby cooped up for that long. So did that. Then we flew from Atlanta to Panama City, and I had to drive an hour and a half, and we didn't get into Panama City until like 8:30 at night. So then we had to drive to Dothan. It was just a very long day. So we were there literally only 4 days. So we had Tuesday was like a free day where we kind of just like ran errands, like got settled into our place. My brother and his wife drove up that night, and we had dinner with them. And then I'm trying to think of what we even did that day. Derek worked for part of the day, so like I kind of was just hanging out with my parents and family. And then Wednesday was the funeral, and obviously that was like a very emotionally and physically draining day. And then Thursday we flew out, and it was like the same exact travel day as Monday. It was so crazy. It was like a 12-hour day. Luckily the timing was a little bit better because we left our Airbnb at like 8:30ish, and we drove, and I think the timing just worked out better because Isaac like napped part of the time in the car, and then for the first flight he napped, and then during the layover he was awake the whole time, and actually the second flight he was awake the whole time. But it just, for some reason, it was better. The layover was a little shorter. So yeah, like the travel day home was still super draining, but I will say I think it was harder on my husband and I than it was Isaac. Isaac was like a champ. Like, he is such a good traveler. And I will say, like, if you've never traveled with kids, or maybe if you have young kids and you're on the fence about doing it, I do think it's worthwhile to do because this is literally Isaac's 8th time. It was his 8th like airplane flight, you know, back and forth on the various trips we've been on this year. And he's such a good traveler. And I really think it's like a combination of things. I think part of it is I'm just very good, like since he was young, like good about getting him out and about during the week, you know, like going grocery shopping or to his library class, or like, you know, just getting him out to the park, like being in cars, like going places in social, you know, settings has helped a lot with traveling. And I think the first trip we took with him was at 3 months on an airplane, and we went to Alabama in September. We went on a road trip to the beach in end of September, and now this trip, and he's just used to it now, and he's a little trooper, and I was so proud of him for doing so well. Yeah, and I'm just so grateful because, you know, that was like a really crazy trip and it could have been a lot worse. So anyways, that happened, and still sad about it, obviously, but my grandma lived such a long life. She was 86 years old, and my grandpa has been passed since 2012. So I just know in my heart that she's in a better place and she's with the love of her life, and that brings me some peace. So it's always hard when this stuff happens, especially at this time of year, because, you know, it's such a like joyous time of year, but it also kind of like puts a damper on things just because you're thinking of those loved ones who aren't with you anymore. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Oh, it's been a rough couple weeks. So anyways, that happened, and I got off track with Vlogmas, which in the grand scheme of things is not a big deal. Like, my channel is so small. Like, you guys are like the people who follow my channel. Oh wait, hold on, my battery's dying. So anyways, as I was saying, like, my YouTube channel is small. You guys, it feels like you're my immediate family. So I knew that if I didn't get a vlog up on time or got off schedule, it wasn't a big deal. Life happens, and it's just, it is what it is, you know what I mean? So we're back home now. We got home on Thursday, and today is Sunday, and Friday, I pretty much just kind of regrouped. I think I did some YouTube editing. Yeah, I did YouTube editing for my first Vlogmas video that went live, so I'll link that if I haven't already in this video. I'm also using, this is the Beauty Bakery flour powder stuff. I actually really like it. It's a translucent powder, and it's not super cheap, but I got it at half price, and I really like it. I also dumped a bunch of it on the floor. That's a story for another time, but anyways. So we've pretty much just been catching up. Like, Friday I did some YouTube editing. We went to the grocery store. I have not filmed a grocery haul in so long, which is literally ridiculous because that's like the whole premise of my channel. So this week I'm probably going to go to Aldi and get like baking supplies to bake some Christmas treats. So I definitely am going to film that. So be on the lookout for that. We went to Walmart on Saturday, and I've kind of just been like, I don't know, I haven't really had like a meal plan. I haven't been very methodical in like my grocery process recently, and I think that's been part of the reason I haven't filmed. So anyways, and then we've just been like unpacking. Yesterday we literally just hunkered down with Isaac because now he's got a cold, so we didn't really want to go anywhere. So we just kind of like played, and Santa Claus came around our neighborhood, and we saw him last night, so that was really fun. And so that's that. So we're pretty much just trying to catch up on life here. Also, I feel inclined to mention I'm having the Starbucks Caramel Brulee Keurig blend, and it's so good. Literally just got a Keurig. I have an espresso machine, but the only bad thing about the Nespresso machine is not that much actual like coffee comes out of it. So the cup sizes end up being really small. So we wanted to get a Keurig also, which has been nice because we can make the full 8 ounce of coffee, but then I can use my Nespresso to make the like froth milk to make the hot foam on top, and it's super good. So anyways, that's like all of that. And then I mentioned in my Vlogmas how the last time I vlogged before I did my Vlogmas video was October. And in that video, I'll link it here, I was like, I'm going to Johns Hopkins at the end of the month because my eye is still like, I'm still having issues with my eye. And then literally like 5 days later, I ended up having eye surgery. It was so crazy. So I wanted to talk about that also because I just feel like the last couple of months have been so busy, like between like my eye stuff, like traveling, unexpected trips, like literally 2 unexpected trips. It's just been so chaotic. The fact that I've even been able to like somewhat keep up with YouTube has just been, I don't know, I'm like bewildered by that. But also I was thinking too about how blessed I am that I've been able to stay at home with Isaac this year and not be working with everything that's happened. It's just so interesting how things happen and you don't know exactly why they happen, but then like down the road you're like, okay, like that happened for that reason. And I mentioned this like very briefly in a video when Isaac was around 4 months, but I ended up getting let go from my job because of budget cuts. There were a bunch of people who got let go from their jobs. It was actually the day before I had Isaac. And so apparently I was supposed to be in that group of people, and they didn't want to let me go at the time because I'm sure that would have been a lawsuit because I was pregnant, which that in itself is like horrible. Like the whole situation, it still like frustrates me because I think it's so unfair and ridiculous, and like the way it was handled was so bad that that's like a whole bigger issue and can of worms with issues like in America that I'm not even going to delve into in this video. But I got let go from my job, and at the time it was like very upsetting, but I was already thinking about like not going back to work to spend more time with Isaac and be at home with him. So I was like telling myself, I was like, okay, like this happened for a reason. You're meant to be at home during this time. And with all this stuff that's happened, it's like I wouldn't have even had the time off, like to have eye surgery and recover, like for the funeral and stuff. Like I wouldn't have even had time to like do that. And it just reinforces that like everything happens for a reason. But I guess what I'm getting at, it's just been like a very crazy year. Like reflecting back on it, it's like I had Isaac February 1st, which I can't believe he's gonna be 1 in like a month and a half. I need to start planning his birthday party. Like it's just so crazy. I can't even believe it. I had a C-section. That was like a really tough recovery. And then just adjusting to mom life and getting used to be a stay-at-home mom, because that was a big adjustment for me because I had been working for nearly like a decade full time, and I was in healthcare marketing, in case some of you don't know, and I really enjoyed it. So it was hard, you know, like those transitions in life are really tough, and I feel like nothing's gonna prepare you for it. It doesn't matter like what situation you're in, like whether you're going back to work as a mom or whether you're transitioning to stay-at-home mom life, it's going to be tough either way. So just, you know, going through those changes and learning to get into a groove with your new routine. I feel like now I'm kind of finally like, okay, like I know what my new routine is. Like me and Isaac are in a groove. Like I feel like I'm able to enjoy it more versus in the beginning. It just felt like chaos and like I was just trying to survive, if that makes sense. And then we had the unexpected trip in September, which again was like a blessing. I'm so glad we did it, but it was still crazy nonetheless. We traveled to the beach in September, and then so now we'll get into my eye story. So literally for the last year and a half, I've been having issues with my right eye. Should I be putting on makeup? I just like completely stopped what I was doing. I was having issues with my eye where it was just watering, like on and off. I would have these flare-ups where it would be watering, and I didn't know why. Like I always assumed that it was like eye infection. So I would go in, and sometimes they would be like, yeah, it's infected, like do these drops, and then it would keep happening. And then other times I would go in and they say, okay, your eye doesn't look infected, but maybe like do these drops and see if it will help or whatever. And it always just kept happening. So we were literally in Alabama in September, and I got an eyelash in my eye, and I thought that's why it was watering, but literally it was watering just like days. Like we got home, it was still watering. So it was getting way worse. Like it was getting gunky, and I was like, is it infected? I went to the doctor, they said it's not infected. So then I had been seeing an ocular plastic surgeon on and off for my eye because my eye doctor referred me to him thinking that my tear duct was partially blocked. And basically every time I would go in to see him, he would be like, yeah, like it's like 50% blocked, or no, it's like not blocked at all. Like I literally went in, it was right before our Alabama trip, like 2 weeks before it. And he checked it and he said, yeah, it's 90% open. Like you're good. Like there's no way I'm doing surgery on you. There's too many risks with that. And I was like, sweet. Like I was so excited. Like I went out and bought a celebratory mascara, because when I was having these issues on and off, I just stopped wearing eye makeup because, you know, you're more prone to getting infections. Like, I didn't want to contaminate my makeup. Like, it was this whole thing. Like, after I got cleared, he's like, yeah, you may just want to like throw out your makeup and start fresh because maybe you're getting infections from your makeup. So I did a whole makeup declutter video, and I'll link that here too. You can go watch it. Got rid of all my makeup. Then we get home from Alabama and I go in, and I didn't even have an appointment. I texted him like, literally my eyes been watering for 2 weeks straight. Like it's oozing. And he said, okay, just come in tomorrow. I came in and he tested me and he's like, you're 100% blocked. Your tear duct is 100% blocked. And it was on my birthday, guys. It was literally on my birthday. And I was so upset because he just told me I didn't need eye surgery. And at the same time I was upset, but I also was like, okay, well, at least I know what's been going on. So what he told me was, I think it was just the timing. He says, I have some patients where their duct will open and close sporadically, and it can be hormonal. It can be related to the environment. And he says, I think that's what's been happening with you. So sometimes your duct will be completely open, and then other times it will like be closed, and that's causing all the tearing because your eyes aren't draining properly. And that also puts you at risk for eye infections because your duct isn't draining properly. So that was so crazy because I literally filmed that vlog in October. And then I was like, I'm having all these eye issues. I'm going to Johns Hopkins at the end of the month to get a second opinion. And then literally 5 days later, I had eye surgery because what happened was, after he told me my duct was 100% blocked, he's like, well, I have an opening on October 10th. So you could get surgery that day. And it was October 4th, or you can wait until like, it was like a little bit before Thanksgiving. And I was like, no, I just want to get it over with, because at that point I didn't really have any doubts. I didn't feel like I needed a second opinion, as crazy as that sounds, because this was the same doctor who was telling me like, no, you're fine, because this had been going on for so long. It literally had been going on since before I was pregnant. So it was like a year and a half. And I was like, nope, let's do the surgery. Like, I knew I already met my deductible for the year with our insurance because of the C-section. And I did the surgery, and it honestly, like, the recovery was annoying, but it wasn't that bad because after I had the C-section, nothing will compare to that recovery. So my eye did hurt. It was sore. The most annoying part was I had to sleep propped up for 2 days, and I had to ice my eye like every hour during the day when I wasn't sleeping for 10 minutes to help like reduce the swelling and stop the bleeding. And I had to do like, did I do eye drops? No, it was like an ointment on my incision area. So you can't even like see the incision. It's like right here. You can't even see it that much anymore, which is pretty wild. I will say that I'm still having like general eye pain. So I'm actually going in this week to get checked out because I just want to make sure that everything like looks fine and there isn't anything going on. So they put a stent like from my like eye, like where the tear duct, not tear, like, so basically they like open the tear duct, they create a new pathway for the tears, and the stent that they put in my eye like ran from the tear duct area down my nose to keep that pathway open. So that's a whole other saga, because as soon as I had the surgery, it was like a week or two later, Isaac got sick, and then I got sick, and I ended up having bronchitis and a really bad sinus infection. And I think what happened was, because I had that stent in my nose, I couldn't properly like blow my nose and like, you know, clear my nose out. So I got the really bad sinus infection. So I ended up going back into the doctor, the ocular plastic surgeon, because I was having issues with the stent, and they ended up just taking it out, which also made me nervous because I was supposed to have the stent in until January. But he told me, he's like, everything looks like it's healing up like really nice. It's been 4 weeks. If you want, I could just take it out. And I don't know if it was the right decision or not. I guess we'll figure, like this week when I go in, he'll tell me if everything's still open and stuff. But at the time, I was like, I need it out of my nose because I can't clear my nose. And I ended up having 2 rounds of antibiotics because literally all my sinus pain was on this side of my face. I think because of that stent. It's a foreign object. It's not supposed to be in your nose. You know what I mean? So I got the stent removed. I did 2 rounds of antibiotics, and generally like I'm feeling much better. It's just like I have like pain here, and kind of like when I close my eyes or make certain facial expressions. My surgeon says it's likely just like the muscles like healing and stuff from the surgery. But regardless, I'm gonna go get it checked out just to be sure. And then I recently had just like my general ENT appointment that I have every year because I have really bad allergies and like ear stuff. Sometimes it flares up, and he said everything looked okay. So I know it's likely not like a residual sinus thing. So that's all my health stuff that's been going on. So it's literally been crazy between the like last minute eye surgery, healing from that, being sick, and then Isaac being sick. He was sick on and off for like 3 times in the last like month and a half. He's just at that age. I need a highlighter. Hold on. In case you're wondering what I used for bronzer, blush, and highlight, I used a Becca bronzer, which Becca doesn't exist anymore, so this doesn't exist, and a Laura Geller blush in Tropic Hues. I love this stuff. It's like the baked Italian blush. It's so pretty. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury highlighter, which was like a limited edition thing. What was I saying? Yeah, so Isaac, he was sick. He had a cold a little bit before Halloween. That's when I caught that and had the sinus infection and bronchitis. And then he had like this stomach bug, which that was absolutely miserable for like a baby. So he had that for like a week, and now he's sick again. But this so far is like very mild compared to anything else he had, so that's good. I'm hoping it stays that way because obviously we're right before Christmas and I would like to not be sick. I would like for him to not be sick. And yeah, so we've been struggling with just like generally like keeping everyone healthy in our household, like the surgery and all the travel. It's just been really crazy. So that's why I feel like I need to like properly sit down and catch up with you guys because there's just been so much going on. How are you guys? Comment below. Tell me how you're doing. The one thing I love about doing YouTube, even though like my channel's so small, is I do love when you guys comment and you say hi and you tell me how you're doing, because I start to recognize people's names and know them, you know, from YouTube, and it's like cool to see how you guys are doing. So let me know how you guys are doing this holiday season. As far as holiday plans go, it should be pretty low-key, which I'm looking forward to. I am pretty sad that like we're already 9 days away from Christmas. I do feel like the Alabama trip, it like kind of wrecked the holiday season. As bad as that is to say, you can never plan for someone passing. But you know, I really love like the time of year leading up to Christmas. Like I almost like it more than actual Christmas. It's just the anticipation and like the decorations and all those fun like holiday activities you do with family. So I'm pretty sad that it's like only a week away because I feel like it's gone by so fast. I'm gonna throw a little bit of eyeshadow on. I'm gonna use my Brown Sugar Cinnamon Pop-Tart palette. I actually got this half price on Black Friday at Ulta, and I love this palette so much, and the shades are super pretty. Since I had decluttered pretty much all my eye makeup, I kind of restarted my makeup collection, and I'm keeping it pretty minimalist. So this was one of the eyeshadow palettes I picked up. I've been using it a ton. I only have 4 eyeshadow palettes right now. My favorite palettes right now are this one and then the Sultry Anastasia palette I picked up during the Sephora sale, but they're just very pretty, like everyday, like neutral shades, which is what I've been into recently. Let's be honest, I have not done my makeup consistently in so long. Like most days, I feel like I'm just not wearing makeup, but occasionally I like to put it on just because it makes me feel better. Which today is like one of those days. I haven't worn it in a couple days, so I just feel like I want to get ready. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I've like done something productive during the day and something good for myself. What was I saying? But yeah, I can't believe Christmas is like almost here. So as far as Christmas goes, we're going to do Christmas Eve church, like at our church. Some years we've been, we would go to like my parents' church or Derek's parents' church, but we've actually like, one thing we've done this year that I've really like has helped me a lot is start going to church more consistently. I'm Catholic, Derek's Catholic, so we found a church near us that's really close to where we live that we really like, and we got Isaac baptized, and we've just really been enjoying it. And so this year I'm like, I know that we could go to church with our families, but I really want to go to our church. We'll do that. We always like try to watch a Christmas movie on Christmas Eve. So I love watching Elf. That's like my favorite Christmas movie at all time. So we'll probably watch that on Christmas Eve. Last night we had Freeform on, and they had a Home Alone marathon and then the Santa Claus marathon. So we watched the Santa Claus last night, and I love that movie so much. I like forgot how good it was, and it's probably one of my, it's probably Elf for me is number one, and then the Santa Claus is probably number two. It's so good, and I think Tim Allen is hilarious. So we'll probably just do that on Christmas Day. It's up in the air what we're doing in the morning. We invited Derek's parents over, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get together on Christmas Day. We might end up doing it like after Christmas, and then we'll go over to my parents' house like for lunch / dinner and spend the rest of Christmas Day with them. So that will be really good. So I'm excited for that. I'm obviously excited for Isaac's first Christmas. He's so young that like he's not really gonna know what's going on, but it's still gonna be fun. Like we have some presents for him, and it's just fun. Like he loves Christmas lights, like even though he doesn't know what they are. Like we drove by some in Dothan actually when we were in Alabama. They had this like neighborhood that was super decorated, that had their own like radio station, and they do the dancing lights, and we rolled the window down for him like when he was in his car seat, and he could still see them from the street, and he loved them. So that kind of stuff has been really fun. It's just fun to like relive see Christmas through your child's eyes. And I'll be even more excited next year when he's a little older, you know, and can actually like have a little better of an understanding about it. I'm trying to decide what shimmer I want to put on my eyes. I don't think I've tried this one, so I'm gonna do this one. So yeah, we're like really excited about that, but it's sad at the same time because it's going by so quickly. So I need to wrap presents. Do you guys wrap your presents ahead of time, or do you just do them all the night before? And we still have some presents that we need to get. I'm like, I really do feel like that trip just threw me for a loop, and I'm so behind on some stuff. But we did exchange presents with my brother and his wife when we were in Alabama, so that worked out that we saw them because they're in Florida, and they're going to San Diego for Christmas, so we wouldn't have seen them. So that did work out, but we still have presents that we need to get people. So I feel like this week I need to really just like sit down, make a list of all the things that I need to do. We did send out Christmas cards. We got those out literally the day before we left, so that worked out. But yeah, there's still so much to do, but I'm trying to like take it for what it is and enjoy it at the same time. Because yeah, I mean, I don't want to just like, I feel like we do this thing. What color is this? Where's my, oh, here it is. You know, sometimes it's like we make the holidays like so stressful, and I'm trying to like not do that and just enjoy it. But yeah, trying to be in the moment as much as I can and just enjoy stuff. Although sometimes that's hard for me because I've talked about this before. I'm such a go person and want to like get stuff done. But that's kind of like with Vlogmas, I'm like, I'm just gonna kind of let it go. And it's like, if I get it done, cool. And if not, it's okay. Because it's like, I don't want to not waste, but like fill all my time that I can't enjoy, you know, the festivities and stuff that's going on. So this is the Rare Beauty eyeshadow stick, and these are really good. I love Rare Beauty. Like their stuff is 10 out of 10. I've never tried anything from them I haven't liked. This is the shade Integrity, so it's just like a champagne shimmer, but I've been liking putting this like on my inner corner when I do my eyeshadow. It's really nice. So anyways, I think that is it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's been going on, as if there hasn't been enough going on, but you know what I mean? Yeah, we've just been trying to enjoy this season of life we're in with Isaac. He's just such a happy baby now. Some of my earlier vlogs, when he was just a couple months old, it was so hard because he had such bad colic, and now I can't talk and do eyeliner at the same time. Now he's just such a happy baby. He's all over the place. He's so active. He's crawling everywhere. He's standing. He's starting to like walk around furniture. He's climbing. So I kind of do miss like when he was a baby and you could just like sit him down and like leave him on the floor on his tummy or whatever, because you could still like go, I don't know, grab your water off the counter or whatever and like not worry about him. But now he's like all over the place, so I have to watch him like a hawk. But at the same time, it's so fun because it's like he's playing with toys. He knows like what's going on. You know what I mean? He's just like more aware. His personality is really coming out. He said mama. He said mama. It was like 2 weeks ago. And it's so cute. Like now, last night, he had already eaten dinner, but I was eating my dinner on the couch and he just crawls up to me and he's like, mama, mama, because he wanted some of my food. And it's just so, I don't know, it's so special. It's for any of the moms out there that are in the early stages, just know, like, I don't know, it's so interesting because some people are like, they love the newborn phase. And I'm like, are you just lying? Or was your, like, I'm like, either you're lying or your baby was super easy. But we had such a hard time because his colic was so bad and he used to just cry for literally like 3 hours straight every night. And it was so mentally draining for everyone. And obviously when they're that young too, they're not sleeping through the night. But now it's so much better. Like once he hit 4 months, it got so much better. So if you're in that phase, no, it's going to get better. I think just generally as a new mom and dad, like it's such a life adjustment. Like nothing is ever going to prepare you for it. And I do think that like some people get a little lucky because their delivery will be easier, or maybe their baby is just like not super fussy. Because I have had friends where I'm like, wow, I'm like, you're very fortunate. I'm a little jealous. But in the same at the same time, like some of those people too, I think it's like their baby may not be as good a sleeper later on. And we've gotten very lucky that Isaac is like a very good sleeper. Like he, I'm dropping things, dropping my mascara wand. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like he sleeps through the night and we've gotten really lucky, you know what I mean? That he does that. He's a really good sleeper and some people are not that fortunate. So it's one of those things where, that was a really hard time in our life, but now it's like so much better. And I'm like, it's just, I can't believe he's like the same kid, you know what I mean? Because he's just, it was like a 180 and now he's just so happy and like, he's just so like loving. Like he just wants to like, you know, he'll crawl up to you and I don't know, it's just really cool. So if you're in that season of your life, like the early couple months, if you're having a hard time like adjusting, if your baby's super fussy, if you feel like it's like not what you expected or you're like worried it's not going to get better, it gets better. And I feel like that sounds like kind of harsh, like, but I don't know, the first couple of months were just so rough for us. And I know we're not the only ones because we do have friends who have had colic and they were like, yeah, let's just say it how it is. Like that sucked. Like that was such a bad time. And I like 100% am like with them. Like it was just such a hard time in our season of life that we were in, but it gets better and Isaac is just the best. I like still can't believe he's ours. Like I wonder, did people like eventually, are you like, I don't know. Sometimes I look at him and I'm like, I can't believe that I grew you. Like, I can't believe that you're like our kid. Like, it's just such a blessing. It's just so wild. Life is so wild. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some lip product on and then we're gonna be done. So we're trying to decide if we want to like go out today or not. I do feel like one of the things with kids is like, I think too, especially just because we got back from a trip and we're kind of like burnt out, you know what I mean? We were trying to decide if we wanted to like try to go out to like lunch or like an early dinner, and I honestly would not be shocked if we just stay home. I feel like sometimes it like takes me, I'm like, I have to be like really motivated to want to like go out and sit down at a restaurant, which is kind of good because I feel like we cook a lot more at home now, so it saves us money. But then at the same time, I'm like, sometimes it's better when we go out because Isaac just does better like when we break up his day and get him out somewhere. I'm gonna use this Rare Beauty lipstick. Speaking of Rare Beauty, because we were just talking about them, but their lipsticks are really good. This is in the shade Lively. kind of funny though, because now I've got like a full face of makeup on and we'll probably just stay home all day, but sometimes it's just fun to put some makeup on, you know, and feel put together. So that's it. I'm sorry if this video was so rambly. I feel like I was literally all over the place, but I wanted to sit down and catch up with you guys because, you know, I do these vlogs and stuff, but sometimes I don't like actually catch up and tell you guys what's been going on in our lives. So we're officially caught up, and that's what's been going on. I can't say it's all been good because it obviously has not, but it is life, and we are just counting our blessings because we are so lucky in so many facets of our life, and we're just grateful for the blessings that we do have. I'm grateful that my grandma's in a better place. I'm grateful that I was able to get that crazy eye surgery and finally figure out what was going on with my eye for so long, and just generally we're all healthy, and that's all that matters. So I'm so grateful for you guys too. I cannot believe the year, like everything that's happened, and at the same time YouTube has like been like, I don't know, such like it's been like an outlet for me, and just having my small community on YouTube has meant so much to me. It's given me some like almost structure, like being able to like use, you know, some quiet time to film or like sit down and edit. It's been like my happy place. So I just wanted to mention that I'm so grateful for you guys. My YouTube channel has also like grown a lot this year, even though we're still small. Like I'm getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. So I'm just so grateful. Like, you know, for me, it's such a creative outlet, and, you know, my jobs previously, it was very much like creative jobs. So it's nice to still be able to do something like that. So I just wanted to mention that I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful for this year, for everyone I've met on YouTube. Being able to like put out content for you guys is so fun. So thank you for all that you do, the likes, the comments, just being here. It means a lot to me. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this very long, rambly video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you don't mind, give it a like, subscribe if you're new here. I'd love to have you in the future. So as far as content goes for the rest of December, I do not have a game plan, but I know there will probably be some grocery hauls, some more vlogs, and then we'll kick off the new year with my normal content. So it'll be grocery hauls, more day in the life mom vlogs, and that's what we have planned for the new year. I'm really excited for a fresh year. Isaac's turning 1. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. So I hope you guys all have a great holiday season, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.